Good to see you, sir. Have you spoken to Kelly Ortberg?
Not spoken. I spoke to Stephanie Pope on Friday afternoon. So she's reasonably hopeful that the vote on the new pay deal will be approved tonight. It doesn't make a lot of difference to us one way or another because we're gone into the winter now anyway. The big issue for me was how's the certification of the MAX 7 and MAX 10 going? I think the good news is the strike hasn't delayed that certification work. Management are still working certification. She still expects the MAX 7 to get certified first half of 25, MAX 10 second half of 25. So I think we're still good to go on the first of our MAX 10 deliveries in spring of 2027. And that's what really takes us from our 200 million now to 300 million passengers by the mid-2030s.
How are these delivery delays hitting your company? Just give us an idea.
I mean, they've been very frustrating. We were supposed to grow to 205 million passengers this year. We'll do about 199 and change. Next year it was 215 million passengers. We've now cut it back to about 210. Might get to 208, 207. So it's frustrating. But in a bizarre way, it might actually help our earnings next year because, you know, we'll be heavily constrained in terms of our capacity growth. We had a bit of a disappointment on pricing this summer. After 2 years of 20% fare increases, this year we're down 10% in the first half of the year. But with real capacity constraints next summer, with interest rates easing, inflation no longer a worry, I think there's a reasonable rebound in consumer spending next year. And we hope to see that reflected in modestly upward fares, which with Ryanair's very stable cost base will flow largely through to the bottom line.
So you could see another 10% maybe fare increase next year?
I wouldn't want to put a number on it, but I mean, I think off a 10% decline this year, I think it's reasonable to expect next year that, you know, fares will be up. I would hope we'd recover most, if not all, of this year's 10% fare decline.
So why were fares down earlier if there still is all this pent-up demand for people to travel? Why has that been such a soft patch for airlines across the world?
Well, I think this year, I mean, certainly in the first half of this year, the consumer was under real pressure in Europe. You had high interest rates, the central banks really squeezing down on inflation in the first half of the year. We had an unusual event ourselves. So we had this dispute with the online travel agents started last November. They boycotted us from November, December. I think that hit us this year on pricing. We lost a lot of the kind of the advanced bookings of summer holidays. People who book well in advance using those OTAs, they moved towards the tour operators. We've now signed up approved OTA deals with about 90% of the OTA customers, and we're seeing very strong forward bookings into summer 2025 as a result.
There's a larger question here. If you're depending on Boeing to come up with some planes, you're reading the news about the strike, you're talking to executives, finding out the blow by blow about when they can actually get back to the floor and produce again. Do you have an alternative? Are you looking at alternatives? Are you thinking to yourself, really? Am I really doing this again?
I mean, the honest answer is no airline has an alternative. There's two manufacturers in the world. You've got Airbus and you've got Boeing. Boeing gets all the negative PR. They have the strike. They've had the MAX grounding. Airbus are in as much of a mess as Boeing are. I mean, Airbus are way behind on their monthly production. The engines, the Pratt & Whitney engines on the Airbus aircraft are duds, so they're taking them off the wing. They're going through 12-month repair processes. And, you know, Europe is an Airbus marketplace. So Airbus are just as bad as Boeing are. I'm very happy to be a Boeing customer. I think the Boeing aircraft is a better aircraft. The newer aircraft we're taking now, the game changers, we're carrying 4% more passengers, but burning 16% less fuel. That's transformational to our numbers. You look at our numbers this morning, and in a summer where we carried 9% more passengers, unit costs are flat. We're the only airline with flat unit costs in North America or in Europe here this year. Yes, we've taken a bump on fares. I think that's good. If your passengers are getting lower prices, yes, we'll take a hit in the short term on profitability, but we're taking huge amounts of market share off everybody else. And next year, if I think we see a bit of a bump upwards in airfares, I think it'll come straight through to our bottom line.
Michael, do you think third time's a charm? Will this deal that's on the table right now get through?
I mean, again, I think Boeing's my call on Friday, they think it's 50-50. I mean, very hard to see how any Labour group turns down a 38% pay increase with the ridiculous sign-on bonuses. I think on balance, I think they probably will turn it down. I think they'll hold out for 40. But it's a short time. Like, this is a frustration.
Will Boeing go to 40?
If they turn down 38, I don't know, where else do you go? They're not going to go backwards towards 30. I hope it's resolved this evening, whether it's 38 or 40. I think we're at the end game. It doesn't make much difference to us. I had 9 deliveries due in November and December. They're going to get pushed out into February and March. The big issue for me, Boeing's supposed to deliver me 29 aircraft before June next year. I think now we're looking at only getting half of those, so about 14 of the 29 aircraft. So I've had to walk back my growth next year. Instead of 215 million passengers, it'll be 210 million, and that number might creep slightly downwards. So it's frustrating. But really, over the medium term, the big issue for me is Boeing. When are you going to get the MAX 7 certified? When are you going to get the MAX 10 certified? If they get those certified in 25, we're looking at taking delivery of an aircraft in 2027 that carries 20% more passengers but burns 20% less fuel. I just blew up the entire competition in Europe. No Airbus aircraft will be able to compete with me.
I want to ask you about the competition in the UK. I used to live in the UK, I used to fly on Ryanair. Now you're reviewing your schedule out of the UK because the government is charging £2 more a person.
I mean, you have this bonkers Labour government. You know, they got elected on this kind of we're going to be pro-growth, we're going to grow, whatever it is, we're going to grow. And the first thing they do on an island on the periphery of Europe is we're going to put up travel taxes. You can't grow putting up
So
travel
will you
taxes.
cut capacity?
We're going to switch it on. I mean, we do about 55 million passengers a year to the UK. We're going to switch about 5 million of that capacity, which mainly takes place on aircraft that are based in Europe that fly into the UK. We're going to move that now next year to Italy, Sweden, Hungary, where they're abolishing travel taxes. So we have the flexibility to move that capacity around. And again, I think it'll be good for my pricing in the UK next year. Bad for growth. I mean, the UK has no chance of growing if this idiot chancellor thinks that the way forward is going to be increasing tax on air travel. You want to grow, scrap air travel taxes. The Italians get it, the Swedes get it, the Irish got it. The Brits will eventually work it out. But, you know, these guys haven't been in power for about 15 years, and I think they're going to learn some very harsh lessons in the next year or two.
I asked you if you've spoken to Kelly Ortberg. Have you spoken to Chancellor Reeves?
No. And I suspect the chances of me having a conversation with her in the next couple of weeks would be are diminishing rapidly. You know, like, I mean, this is a girl who, you know, her background was in the Treasury. She should understand that the way to, you know, you really want to deliver growth in the UK, particularly in the regions. Tourism is the one industry you can turn on and turn off at the drop of a hat. And her first measure is to increase travel taxes. You've got to be insane to do that.
When you do that, Michael, £2
Yeah.
on short-haul travel per passenger, grand scheme of things, you step back, you say £2 might not sound like a lot.
Yep.
From your perspective, you're fantastic with the numbers. Walk us through how £2 changes the game for you. How does that ripple through the system?
See, the point is, it's £2 up in the UK, but in Italy at the moment they're reducing the municipal tax. They're scrapping municipal tax, which is a reduction of €6.50. So on all flights, the move now is €10. So do I put another flight into Italy next year, or do I put another flight into the UK? I move capacity out of the UK into Italy. Sweden, Sweden, the home of travel, the home of flight shaming. Greta Thunberg, where she got her limited education up there, have now scrapped aviation taxes. There's a new right-wing transport minister in Sweden who gets it. Greta was wrong. She should go back to bloody school and stop boycotting school. They're scrapping the travel. So if I move an aircraft from the UK next year, it's not a £2 differential, but if I move that up to Sweden, it's a €10 differential, and that's transformative. If I can lower my fares to Sweden next year by €10, I will carry many more passengers to Sweden. I'll carry fewer in the UK. Airfares in the UK will rise. Regional traffic and tourism in the UK will fall. Sweden will boom. Italy will boom until Rachel Reeves works it out that this is not the way forward.